It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Grizzly on the Hunt for local sightings and news. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and Scripted. Hello.
Here's the panel. Hi, everybody.
Hello,
Good evening.
Hello, Mike, Sonia, Barbara, Standing Stones, Aussie
Hello.
Sue, Brenda. How's everybody down there?
Let's see.
Thomas Geswand, LB. Hello, hello.
Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment. Let's see. Entertainment DNTV channel. That's cool. Things Network. Who else? Standing Stones. Thomas. Did you say hi to an LB? Nicole. Who? Oops. I think I'm going too far. Am I going too fast?
I don't know where it went.
Crazy Witch. Hi, Crazy Witch. I think that's. Did I get everybody?
Yeah.
I think so.
So what's everybody been up to?
Well, Mike, poor Mike. That is oh God, that is Facebook profile completely act.
There's
Was it beautiful though? Was it? How beautiful! He doesn't know about that story, does he?
No.
Yeah.
God, cameras are awful. I don't even understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then somebody even said something about him changing. Like, oh my God, you changed. And they were like, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to even say thank you?
And I swear there were 50 people that reported it as a fake profile and as a hack profile.
At least 50.
Too.
At least 50.
Yeah, I reported it too. And it was like, yeah, and the thing is, it says like you're supposed to like say which friend was hacked, and you can't even bring up which friend it was because like, you know, like you go to Mike and you're like, wait, it's not Mike, but then you know, but they're not even supposed to be the person that's hacked.
Yeah.
So let's bring Mike up to speed. Let's Mike have some fun for a minute. So Mike, the other day I was on the phone with Sonia, you know, what we call it, FaceTiming each other, right? And she was like, it's getting ready to rain. And I was like, oh, okay. So she leans over and it starts to rain.
It was hailing is what it was. And it was coming to storm. It's about to hail. And I knew
it sounded like did y'all just hear that? So anyway, it sounded like somebody just like ran into the studio. But anyway, so then she's like, it's getting ready to hail. And so she takes her phone and goes over to the window and she's like, look how beautiful it is. It's starting to hail. There's Bigfoot right there. 40 feet from her door, Mike. There's Bigfoot standing right there.
40 feet from her door.
Beautiful.
In the hail.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
it's hailing.
My bedroom window. I crawled over to my bedroom window
and
was
I'm like,
looking
look at the Bigfoot. She's like, how beautiful the lightning is. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. She was standing there a minute. Like I guess I don't know. I didn't think that he would be able to see her, to be honest.
And I'm trying to get her attention. There's a Bigfoot standing right there.
I was just like really casual. I was just like, I know. She's been standing there a minute.
How beautiful.
But I was looking, the lightning was really pretty. I'm sorry. It was a nice storm.
And to start doing this number.
Yeah.
The sway, yes.
So, yes.
Well, she was, like at the time I didn't realize it, but when we had the show last week and we were telling my story, I had just went out to the chicken coop and gotten all the eggs out of the chicken coop. I got like 40 eggs. And she watched me and I felt bad too because it was coming to storm and I should have took some out there, but I didn't. I just came back in the house and was talking to Chris on the phone and she watched me get all those eggs. So I know that's what she was like out there. She was at the spot where I've been leaving the eggs. So she was all like, yo, I seen you with them eggs.
She's like, I'll stand in the hail.
It was beautiful. Look at the storm and hail.
my ego got the best of me, and I was like, "Look at me, I'm right. Look, it's gonna hail," and I was right. It hailed, and I was like, "Ah." Yeah, there's that.
But your Sasquatch was like, "Oh no, look at me."
Yeah.
Well, it lightened. It lightened. I can't even. I'm so country. I can't even say lightning. It lightened.
Latin.
Yeah.
You know what you mean.
I don't even know how to say that in the tense that I need to say it in. Oh. But yeah, and it kind of, I don't know. It's like she jumped because she'd been standing out there a minute. I just didn't think that he would be able to see her, honestly.
Wow.
And I didn't really think about it, but like when the lightning hit, she kind of like jumped and came out from behind the tree and was like, "Oh," or maybe hail hit her. I don't know. Like, but she's the
Mike,
watcher.
it was beautiful. Look at the storm.
Well, I didn't expect her to jump out from behind the tree like that.
Oh my
Grizzly, it
goodness
changes
gracious.
everything. It changes everything. So
I didn't get no rat's rear end about the hail of the storm. I saw what I was looking at.
I didn't think about that.
But yes. So every time we hear it's beautiful, you know what it means now, Mike.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
Well, they're always there, so. But the lightning's not always there.
She's like, yeah, I know. I see it. And I'm like,
I did. I'm like, why are you so casual about
hold
it?
that phone still. Don't move. Would you quit moving that phone?
and she's like, look, how beautiful. It's like, oh my God.
He's like, did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see that? I said, yeah, I saw that. I said, did you see the lightning? He's like, no. Did you see the Bigfoot? I was like, yeah, she's been standing there. He's like, why are you so calm? I was like,
I was texting Chris. I'm like, you ain't gonna believe what I just seen at Sonia's. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful.
Grizzly, did she turn the phone around to where you could see it?
Yes. She was bottom heavy. She was thick bottom heavy. She's about 7 foot tall.
Yeah, okay.
40 feet away. Yeah. She was scraggly looking too.
She's not scraggly looking. Don't talk about her like that.
So
Who are you? My window's open.
Then she wants me to walk in the woods with her. Yeah, okay.
She's actually one of the smaller ones. She's not 7 foot tall. She's a little bit smaller than that. She's about she's 6.5 foot. 6.5 foot.
Close enough, Mike. 7 foot tall to me.
Hey, 6.5 is about my size.
Yeah, well, it makes it. I know it doesn't sound like much, but it makes a difference, you know. And she's just smaller. She's always been. She's just one of the smaller ones. But I think that makes her a good watcher because that's what she does during the day is sit out here. She's the one that sits up there and does all the cooking.
They make that poor girl watch.
Oh no! Then it gets better. Then an hour after our conversation, you know, right? She's, oh yeah, the alpha male was up there earlier. I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, yeah.
What? And she's like, oh yeah, he goes up there all the time.
Well, my power went out. That's what happened. The power went out, and then when that happened, it's like it was about time for them to move through anyway because it was like 7 going on 8 o'clock, you know, somewhere in there. So they were all coming through anyway, and I was like, well, perfect time for I guess, you know, I never thought about sitting at my window or sitting a camera in my window. You know.
Well, I think, like you said, though, she probably wasn't thinking that you were, you know, had her on camera, right?
Right. Well, because I had the phone turned this way, and I was talking, and when it started to hail, I flipped the phone around, and when I flipped the phone around, like I said, it started to lighten, and lighten. I can't even talk. It started to lightning came through the sky.
It was beautiful.
and like I said, it was hailing at first, so I had the phone turned around for just a minute, and I'd seen her, and I was like, okay, well, she's behind the trees. She's not gonna I really didn't think that she'd come out. And I didn't think that he could see that far, but I guess it's not actually that far. It's just the wood line here. I mean, it's 30 yards outside my window, if that.
Wow.
Yeah. Now you know why I don't really like windows. Now you know why you hear it breathing when we go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's not a far walk. Just a couple steps and you're there. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what you missed, Mike. Besides you being hacked and everything else.
Well,
Yeah.
The thing is, I've been off for a week and a half, going on be 2 weeks this Friday, and I'm halfway debating just not even to get into it. I mean, it's been kind of now. I use it for two purposes. One is family, and the other is the Bigfoot community. But so I'll probably get into account and get back on here in the next few days. But we had our last 2 school of the school year ended yesterday. So those last 2 weeks, you've got not just to keep up with everything there, then you got it's the banquet season. All these organizations having their banquets in a year, different things like that. And you got to go to graduation, all that stuff. And so I really hadn't had a whole lot of time for much anyway. And I thought, well, when I get through with this, I'm going to sit down and figure it. But I tried everything imaginable to get back into that account. And I could not get back in that account. Facebook, probably well over 100 people, 100 times anyway, it's been reported with the hack account. They do nothing. They've done nothing. Yeah. Say one thing to Facebook on the wrong side of politics, and they'll expel you for a week. But they've done nothing. An hour. Yeah. So.
I've had a debate with them about a couple things, and it'd be like just. And I'm on that really restricted. I've been kicked off for days, Facebook. And once you do that, it doesn't take but a moment. They get you quick.
Right.
How you gonna be mad at me for sharing something I found on Facebook?
But it's beautiful. Unbelievable.
It's not my face, that's for sure. My face lets you do whatever.
I want to see if I can show you guys. I got a warning yesterday. It was so dumb. Where do I have it though? It was, I had responded. Oh, here we go. I had responded to somebody on my Facebook page. I can't remember what she was saying. I know it was like art that somebody had posted, and it was like 2 Sasquatch, and it was a cool piece of art. And I said, that's a great piece. The face reminds me of the one I saw through my camera lens. And I post the picture, and this is what I get. Wait, we're not going to be able to see the commune. Anyway,
read it to us.
Oops. Yeah. Oh, where did it go? This comment may go against our community standards. Your comment is now on Facebook, but it looks similar to other comments that were removed because they don't follow our standards on nudity and the S word activity. What?
Pervert.
And that automatically came up. How in the world me commenting on a piece of art with Sasquatch on it, that's a great piece, and the face reminds me of the one. Well, okay, I guess maybe was that what that's a great piece? Like what?
They need a dictionary.
I know.
Needs a dictionary.
And it was like automatic. It's like, this is, this is what your comment might be. And do you want to delete it, or do you want to print or submit? I'm submitting it. I'm not going to delete it. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't do nothing wrong. Read. Make your algorithm better.
Right.
And for kicks, a couple of times I've done. I've got a lot of former students on Facebook, and some of them, they're not all. I mean, so I've seen pornographic posts and things like that. Just for kicks, I'll report it,
and nothing happens.
No, it doesn't go against their community standards. Nope.
Sorry, this doesn't go against our community standards.
Yes.
Especially if you're on one of those yard sale pages, you get them dirty things that are on them yard sale pages, and you're like, let me report this because that's not right.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. They're like, nah, Facebook says it's cool.
Absolutely fine.
Did you see the same video I was just watching? Like that it forces you to watch?
Yeah.
No.
It's
say faces.
Yeah, those people are incredible.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Let's
All right.
see. What do we have going on in the comments?
But I will say this, in the positive side of that is like this.
Yeah, what do you expect from idiots? That's right.
This Bigfoot community.
Yeah.
I have met so many wonderful people
Yeah.
across the country that I otherwise would have never met, and
That's right.
and sharing a common interest, and so the medium does serve a positive purpose in that sense. So,
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's
So
how I
thank
met all of you.
Facebook for some things and not for
Yeah,
other
yeah.
things.
yeah. So the
Mike, I saw your show, your interview with Pork and Beans. That was cool. That was great.
that was right after the hacking, and
Yeah.
I texted you and I texted Lynn Gasper. I said, can you tell Brian he's got to send the link another way besides Facebook?
Yeah.
But
yeah, what's her name? Clara Joe?
Yeah.
well, yeah, and then I've got people asking me if I've transgendered.
I don't know. If you look that good as a girl, I would say go for it.
I get these text messages saying, "Is there something about you that I don't know?"
Yeah, and about I don't know, what would you say, like 30 years?
But you're beautiful.
You know, like,
Oh well, yeah.
Unbelievable.
That'd qualify me for the women's basketball team or something, wouldn't it?
yeah. Yeah.
with a women's cyclist or something like that. So
Get you into women's wrestling.
And then when you show up, they're like, wait a minute, this doesn't look like your profile picture. It's a good filter.
So Crazy Witch got a fact check thing the other day over a meme about the water level around the Statue of Liberty over 100 years. It was by a group of Germany. Too said, "Oh, LMAO."
Yeah, go figure.
Are you sure you want to post this? Have you fact checked it first?
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't fact check. I like spreading gossip.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
We're like the truth.
So that's what you were here for, Facebook.
I like when they say this is partially false.
Partially false.
Most partially false.
Well, hell,
That
that's a
means it's
Democrat.
partially.
So what the
It's
hell?
partially true.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Oh boy. Anyway.
Good time.
Yeah. So what's going on in the Bigfoot world? Any new sightings or anything? So
Well,
I did. I shared
Yeah.
mine.
I think
Yeah.
there's always new sightings, getting that information, at one good time is really hard. You find out about it later on down the line.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I haven't had a whole lot of time. I haven't been out in the last 3 or 4 weeks, so I don't have any new news as far as being in the field is concerned. I do.
Oh, you've been in the news since you've been concerned.
Well, yeah, I've been in the news, but I don't.
Yes, sir.
but I do plan on getting back to my farm folks this weekend sometime. But
No.
there's a YouTube channel, and he's got a Facebook page out there. A friend of mine, Zeus Platt. It's Project Sasquatch.
Yeah.
And he put up we talk about tree structures and stuff like that. And he put up a video. I think he just put it up today, or the most recent one he's put up. And I actually had the day off today, so I was looking at that, and I was kind of watching that. So if anybody has questions about tree structures, and we've talked about that on this show a lot, Project Sasquatch on YouTube and Facebook, that guy knows. And he gets out there and he shows them, and he gets there and he points this out, points that out, and just shows you exactly why it's not man-made or in what less than Sasquatch. So get out there and see his stuff. I'll give him a plug tonight, a free plug, but he really. I was watching that today, and just the things that he was showing, and just in amazement. And he had the weaving barb like you've got.
Uh-huh.
When they're taking the weaving and building a little blind and stuff like that. And I thought, he's in Colorado. You're in the state of Washington. They do the same things all over the country.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah.
And what I had right before I got hacked, I've got a gentleman that I did a show with him here few months back in the Atlanta, Georgia suburbs.
Oh.
And he went out like Zeus does. He went out and put together a bunch of tree structure videos explaining things like that. Facebook messaged them to me, and my format, the technology that I have doing my show, I really can't use it. So I thought I'm going to get these over to Barb for Grizzly show. And so I got to create a new page and get them all over again. And that's right. And that's right there. The thing is, that's right there. Zeus's stuff is in the mountains, Rocky Mountains in Colorado, where nobody lives, and he's right there with showing tree structures with 8 million people in Atlanta and its suburbs. So
that's just incredible. Yeah, that was a good show. Wow.
Yeah. So
yeah, and Zeus, he has some really good stuff on his channel. I've seen some of his So let's see. I really haven't heard anything. I know that Barb Shoup, who we're going to talk to tomorrow, Grizzly and I, she had posted a bunch of stuff. I didn't get a chance to look at it this afternoon, but she has a bunch of stuff going on over at her place in Washington State. But yeah, so I got to check that out. Everybody check that out, because looks like it's cool stuff. And she's going to be on with Grizzly and I tomorrow to tell us about it. So I'm looking forward to that. So I've never met Barb. I've never talked to Barb. I know we've commented on some of the same stuff once in a while, but she was one of the first ones, before I even knew they were here and started doing any of this stuff. I'd look out there, and her show that she had on YouTube was one of the first ones, and we're going back maybe 6 to 10 years ago. Yeah,
was one of the first ones that I used to actually watch and say, this lady has got it going on, and she knows what she's talking about, and she's right out there amongst them. And I used to watch, and I really didn't, but that was one of the first ones that really, the opposite of the TV shows as far as real authentic. Right. So I'm sure Barb has mentored a lot of people that she doesn't even know she has.
Yes, so that's true. Yeah, she sure is. Yeah, I also watched her for about 10 years, and she's got amazing stuff. And that cloaking video, that's really, I'll tell you, that makes you look at pictures.
A lot of people.
It makes you look at pictures, in a totally different way, because that thing looks so much at one point like an alien, and just the way it transformed. Anyway, so it just makes me really look differently at pictures.
I need to.
You're going to go through everything again and go, maybe that's that. What's that?
Yeah.
And it's a different anomaly, when you're taking videos and you swing around so fast, it causes a lot of different, things that you might have missed because you just thought maybe it was the camera swinging around.
Yeah. Well, Bigfoot Mapping Project put out the top 20 public places to see Bigfoot in the United States. So
I'm interested in hearing this.
Yeah. So let's see if I have them all. The only thing they didn't, so this is going to be, I believe it's in the right order, but it was kind of hard the way they have it posted. Maybe it's just me. But great resource anyway. Yeah, because, people will say, where can I go? Where can I go to find Bigfoot? The number one, where's the thing now? The number one place is Gifford Pinchot National Forest in Washington State, which is where I had my the audio encounter.
Okay.
Yeah. So being there just one night. So I would agree with that. Number two is Mount Baker Snoqualmie National Forest, which is also in Washington State. Number three is Mount Hood National Forest. I believe that's in Oregon.
Oregon, yes. Yep. Mount Hood.
Willamette National Forest. I think that might be in Oregon also. Deschutes National Forest. Does anybody know where that is? I don't know. Six Rivers National Forest.
Somebody's commenting saying Sonia's backyard must be number one.
Yeah, right.
But that's not public.
Right.
Oh gosh. I'm trying to find the little thing that I was taking the information from. The little posting. Anyway, let's see. Stanislaus National Forest. Has anybody heard of that?
Yeah, that's the Stanislaus River. That's Northern California.
Okay.
Below San Francisco, I believe. So I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Then we have Adirondack Park and Olympic National Forest. I Adirondack, that's New York, and then Olympic would be Washington State. Wenatchee National Forest, which is also in Washington State. Daniel Boone National Forest, is that in
Eastern Kentucky? Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
That'd be over there. Charlie Raymond's territory over there, just east of Lexington.
Okay.
Right.
Klamath National Forest. I think that's in Washington State. I'm not positive, though. I believe so. Or this area, anyway, or Oregon. Sam Houston National Forest.
Texas.
What do you know? Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's
Pine
East Texas.
Yeah.
It's East Texas and north of Houston.
Okay.
In that area. So,
what's the one that you do research in?
Well, over to the west of me, we're bordering Mark Twain National Forest.
Oh, Mark Twain. Okay.
And I don't know if that's on the list or not, but well, the thing is with Mark Twain National Forest, it's full of them, but you don't. They're not easy to see.
Yeah. Right. But. Right. All right. Let's see. No, I don't see that on the list. Okay. Pine. Did I say Pine National Forest?
Not yet.
I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Wasatch Cache National Forest. It's WASATCH -CACHE National Forest. Monongahela National Forest, that I believe is in Pennsylvania.
They're all in national forest, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is public though, Grizzly. The top 20 public places.
Yeah, public.
Public. Okay.
Yep.
All
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Huron National Forest.
That'd probably be Michigan, probably.
Yeah, probably. El Dorado National Forest. Probably in the.
That would be probably Texas or Arkansas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Let's see. I think that's it.
I'd like to know about 411 with that list.
Yeah. Oh, Trinity. Did I say Trinity National Forest? Did I mention that one? Yeah, Trinity National Forest. That's the last one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to know that too. Yep. Yeah. I did see an article about something about seismic activity. And I wish I could remember it. But it was basically like making the correlation between recent seismic activity and Sasquatch reports. I thought that was kind of interesting. But, so I guess this is, public places that you can go. If you want to try to see a Sasquatch.
Well.
And what else? Let's see. So, six. Okay. So people on the chat are telling us some of the places.
They've got their own top 20, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Samantha from the Atlanta suburbs, right? Yeah, that was what you were just talking about, Mike, with your.
Yeah.
Yep. Mount Hood and Willamette, they're both in Oregon. Talladega National Forest in Hollins, Alabama is always active around this time of the year, I guess Flat Rock said. Six Rivers is Oregon, California border. I think, yeah, that, and like I said, this was the Bigfoot mapping project had put this out. So, that's not based on our.
Well, that's but the thing is, that's a start. All these, none of these are exact sciences. We don't,
right.
As far as how many of them are here, how many are in there. But that's a good start. That's a good starting point.
Definitely,
and they may not. And like we talked about last time I was on the show, we talked about like the BFRO reports, and I know of dozens in the counties around me that are not on that report. So these are all good starting points to get an idea where they're roaming around at.
Yep. Standing Stones asks, "Is nothing in New England?" Excuse me. I believe that. No, I don't think any of them were in New England.
But maybe not in this list or the top 20, but
yeah.
Tennessee didn't even make the list for like the top any of that.
Yeah.
Too, so we all know that there's
surprising.
Here,
but I'm sure that there's we know that there is in Tennessee.
Right.
What are the big places in New England? Is it Arcadia? Is that a park in a national park in Maine? I don't know. But I see right? Like any of the Maine has more woods than any place outside of Alaska. Yeah. Any national forest or national park that has a lot of remote woods and water sources, right? And
hey, I tell everybody, cover, water, food source, they'll be there.
Yeah.
Get out and look.
Get out there. Look around.
Yep.
When I drive down the road, like especially if I'm on back roads around anywhere, or just like smaller places or in the woods and places, like especially if I'm riding in the car, riding in passenger seat, but like you can look out the window and there'll be places where you'll start to see like signs of them through the in the woods, and like everything in me, I'm like, I know there's probably not as many sightings out here in Tennessee. There's a lot of open land, but nobody knows who owns it, and you just don't be walking out in the middle of the woods and out here, So, but you can drive down the road once you know what you're looking for. You can drive down the road on back roads and find spots where they're, where you see signs of them and arches and the X's and the trees and stuff.
And
that's
ruins your life. You'll be looking for it all the time.
I texted Barb. I texted you a picture just a few moments ago. I just thought of this, guys. My wife and I were out of town last weekend, and the guy came up and he opened our swimming pool, and of course the pool was green when he took the cover off of it. So he took a picture was taken and texted to us. Okay, here's what it looks like now. And going across this pool is only 30 foot in length. It's not a very big one. And then we've got a little patio and some shrubbery. And in the middle of that shrubbery, I've got one of those metal cutouts of a brownish Sasquatch that my son got me and wanted me to put it on display. So it's standing there, plain as day.
Somebody shot the hell out of it.
No. It's in my backyard.
Oh, okay.
My backyard's fenced. I put it there so somebody wouldn't do that. But the point I'm making, this guy just snapped a picture. He's probably 20 yards from where that cutout is standing. In the city of Cape Girardeau, we got about 7 evergreen shrubs behind it. And when you look at that picture from 20 yards on your cell phone, you cannot see that Sasquatch there, and it's a totally different color. And when you start blowing it up, and I just texted that to you, Barb.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
When you start blowing it up, you see he's there. And the point, I was showing that to my wife, and I said, that's why you don't see him in the woods.
Yeah.
I said, that thing's right out there, and this isn't the woods.
I'll send it to Grizzly, and we can share it.
You can't see that on camera.
Right,
I said, basically, they are the woods.
Yep.
Now, when we return, we're going to let Sonia explain about her little experiment that she wants to try.
Awesome.
Stay tuned.
Okay.
Good.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Us on the Panel. This is brought to you by Western Bigfoot and Paranormal Investigations, LLC. Thank you, Dawn. It's a great pleasure. Now, Sonia, are you ready to tell them what you wanted to try to do?
Which one? Like my bucket experiment or what? Like what? I don't know which experiment you're talking about. Like I have so many. Which one? I know you have to do this every week and remind me. This is why I never get anything done because I didn't write it down and I don't remember what we're talking about.
So allegedly, they made a movie out there by her area somewhere. This group of people. So she saw something that was for sale, and what did you want to do with it?
Oh yeah. They have like it was like they made a Sasquatch, you know, and I was like, I'm wondering what they would do if I put that out in the woods. Like, I'm sure that I don't know. They're pretty.
I said they would destroy the hell out of it.
I think they've got a sense of humor. They're like, you know, like I don't know. I don't want to make them mad.
I see what big bucks do when they see another buck in its territory.
Well, I sent it to Link. It was only like $300 for this thing, you know.
and this thing was massive.
It's like $8. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool, but like, I mean, it wouldn't be like $300 worth of experiment, you know.
You talking about a cutout? Just putting a cutout?
No, it's
or the real.
Yeah, it's like a real.
Okay, 3-dimensional.
Yeah,
yes, 3-dimensional.
Like a real mannequin there.
Okay.
Bigfoot there, yeah.
I said they would tear the hell out of it.
Did it look real? I mean, it looked realistic. Yeah, I want to see this. I want to see.
I mean, it looked like, you know.
It was beautiful.
I don't know. It looked. I mean, it didn't. It looked real. I mean, yeah. I mean, it looked more realistic than some things, you know. But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
As far as it could, yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was a little bit cheesy. I'll get yeah. Yes, and I was like,
I was looking at a local report from in my area, and this woman had a few months ago had posted. It's just a local page. She had posted. Well, you know what? Let's show this first, and then I'll tell. Yeah, I'll tell you my. Yeah, this is Mike's.
That's my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yep.
I mean, you can just vaguely.
Yeah.
You go. I mean, you know, and that's out in the open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah, it's true.
So how you gonna see him in the woods at 30 yards?
Yeah.
20 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the way they know how to stand in the shadows and stand behind and in between trees is, I mean, you know, their geometry and stuff is on point. You know, like they know.
Oh yeah.
But it's wild.
Charles wants to know, Sonia, did you find your gifts from Sasquatch that were missing?
My rocks. No, I felt bad all day. Like it had everything in me not to take a nap about an hour before the show started. I was like, nope. We did that one time. We were like 15 minutes late. So no, I didn't. But like last night on the show, they wanted me to bring out my rocks. Like the 2 rocks that the Sasquatch just gifted me, because when you hit them together, I know it said they sound like different rocks, but they just make a different noise than just like, I don't know, other rocks. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just hyping myself up. I don't know.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
But it's weird how like sound carries down here too. Like when you're in the holler, and it's weird. Like right now, my sister, she calls in. You know, I said she makes animal impressions. She calls in owls a lot, and this around my house has become an owl mating ground that is like no other. So there's 18 owls out here at night. It is wild. I'm not even kidding. And what's crazy is like the different owls, like we have the barn owl and we have the screech owl, and we have a couple different owls that, you know, inhabit the area from time to time. And most of them, like, they mate different times of the year. Like, why is that? So all summer,
Yeah.
between early spring, and the end of fall, it is a owl mating fest out here.
And they're
Yeah,
actual owls, not like, right,
yeah,
like
like
Bigfoot.
I know that. Yeah, these are actual
Yeah.
owls.
Wow.
Yeah, even like it's funny too because when the Sasquatches are making owl noises, they'll do like a really good impression of one and like another really good one. Then they'll just do like a crappy one, and then
Yeah.
they'll start with other bird calls. They are so yeah. So I know them.
Yeah.
They mess
Yeah.
with you like that, but I
So
like.
so speaking of that, this same woman back in November had said, and again, this is on a local page, not a Bigfoot, just a regular community. She said it's been really quite noisy for 11 o'clock at night between the seals, sea lions, and a dude doing bad impressions of an owl. And she said, well, I just hope this particular owl isn't nocturnal. Like what? Yeah. So then the other night she posted, heard some strange noises a few minutes ago outside. Sounds like a lot of coyotes, and she has question mark. Let's see. I asked her, did you have weird owl sounds and other animal noises a while back? And she said, yes. Last night's noise was picked up on her Ring camera. Her dog was skittish. She also heard crows after dark.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I you have a Sasquatch lady, but I'm not going to tell you because you'll look crazy.
She needs to find out for herself.
Yeah. Because I think I had posted that before that it was a Sasquatch, and everybody's like, ah.
Yeah, there was a man. There was a man missing his dog in the county next to mine here, and I'd said something to him about, he was like, yeah, I've been hearing some really weird sounds, and he was talking about the different bird noises at night. He said, in all my years living out here, he said, I've never heard the different bird noises at night. And I said, I was like, that's Sasquatch. And before he could say anything back to me, like all of these people because it was just a regular page, he was looking for his dog. And all these people are like, oh, there's no such thing as Bigfoot. Bigfoot's not real. Like, and they're all starting making fun of me and stuff. But then that guy, he goes, yeah, he's like, I thought there were Sasquatches out here. And, he was like, yeah, he's like, I kind of thought that's what it was. I just needed somebody else to, affirm it for me. And I was like, well, I'm your person. Everybody else can laugh at me, but it's okay.
Exactly.
We asked a guy a couple years ago. He lives up near the conservation area here in North Cape. He come down. He stopped. He was talking to us, and he mentioned to me, he says, I've seen you out here a few times. Blah blah blah. And we were telling him what we were doing, and my buddy asked him. He says, "What?" He goes, "You're back in here hunting stuff like that. Anything ever happened to you that's strange that you can't explain?" He starts out, he says, no. And then he says, a lot of times something follows me out of the woods.
Oh, wow.
He says, I walk, it walks. I stop, turn around, I don't see anything. Wow. I walk, it walks. Mm-hmm. And he said, I can't explain it. He goes, at first I thought it was a deer, but then I thought, why would a deer follow the hunter out of the woods? He goes, deer's not following me out of the woods. He goes, it's not. He goes, it's heavy walking. He says, I can't explain that. I said, it's Bigfoot. Yeah. And he says, that's in the back of my mind what I always thought it might be, but I just didn't want to know.
He said, why did you say that? I convinced myself it wasn't. Stop affirming
it. And his wife was with him. She says, oh my goodness. She says, I come out here and walk these trails all the time. She says, I'm going to have to quit doing that.
She said, not anymore. I don't. Not anymore.
I said, ma'am, how long have you lived over there? She says, about 20 years. I said, you've got nothing to be afraid of. Mm-hmm. I said, you walk them. I said, they'll see you. They know you. I said, more than anything else, they'd probably protect you if you needed it. I said, but you have nothing to be afraid of. They're not. They haven't harmed you. They're not going to.
Now, if they
Yeah.
wanted you, they'd have got you the first time you come into the woods. They know.
So.
Yep.
But.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know.
You'll be fine, Grizz. You'll be fine.
Mike. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Sonia's been around these things. How long? How long now? 20-something years, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, 36 years if you want to count back. Being aware of them for the last.
So let's say
25.
now they can smell pheromones and hormones and whatever you want to call it. Now I'm out in the woods with her, right? And then we're like, oh, hell no. No, I'm not taking that chance, Mike.
That's just a risk that you'll have to take. Maybe that's why I don't do it. Maybe that's why
She's like, well, we won't know unless we try. I'm like, well, thanks. You being safe. I appreciate that, Sonia.
I mean, if you go missing every psychic, you've got too many psychics on your teams. You know, they'll find you. We'll find you.
We've got to get you. We've got to get you out somewhere, Grizzly.
Yeah, I know. Just hold her phone outside her windows. All I need.
I'll get you. Get you to Southeast Missouri. I'll have an extra cot for Sunday night.
There we go. I'm down with that. With the same thing, my AK-47 next to him with 75 round drum. Yes. Because the first time I start going hair wiry or start getting an infrasound, I start going dizzy. I'm popping off rounds, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God. This is why Sasquatch. See, Sasquatch knows that you're scared, and that's probably why you've never ran right into one. You know,
you have
this guy would shoot me.
Grizzly, you have to understand. The more they know you're scared, the more they're going to taunt you and tease you.
Yes, they will, and make fun of you, and then just let you.
And all those juvenile males are back there laughing the whole time.
Yeah, they're gonna be laughing when they hear this going off. Yeah, their mama's gonna be calling.
So I'm gonna tell you.
You know,
better hope Daddy doesn't come out and wrap the AK around your neck.
Right? I know. That's my luck.
I talked to a gentleman the other night. He found my channel and got a hold of me and we talked and he's actually from the county over there, the same county where I got two places that I go to, and one place where I've seen him, and one place that we got the activity going with the gifting bucket. And he's from the same county, and he was telling me about an encounter that he had 40 years ago where he had a face-to-face encounter, scared him out of his wits, and he pulled a grizzly Chris and he left the woods. He'd never been back in them. And we were talking, and he was like, I have not been back in the woods since then. And that was 40 years ago.
That's sad though.
It is sad.
That's sad.
And so the more we talked, the more he said, okay, he says, would you do me a favor? And we just met, right? He says, I need to get back there. He goes, would you go back there with me? I said, yeah, it's not too far from me. I said, absolutely. And we could even camp at that same little, they call them mountains over there, but Barb, they're only like 1,000 feet above sea level. So don't laugh. You got East Tennessee and Washington State. Don't laugh at me.
When I saw the Rockies, I was like, okay.
Don't laugh at me. When you hear the word Ozark Mountains, they're not really mountains, but and he said, okay. He says. He's trying to tell me what he's got. He goes, okay, I've got this. And he starts telling me about all the weaponry he's got. He's going to bring. I said, oh, no. No. Mm-hmm. I said, if I'm going to do this with you, we're going to leave all those weapons at home.
You can take a knife.
Yeah.
What the hell you got to do with the knife?
It's on you. You get that scared. No.
So we're going to leave all.
God have mercy.
Off of you. The thing is like if he needs that to feel safe, he could take something like that just for that peace of mind for himself. So it would make him feel more calm. it's just for peace of mind.
A knife ain't gonna do
Maybe
Hey, on the police department, you pulled a knife out. I used to laugh my ass off at you. I'm like, dude, you better drop that.
Right, but like for people who don't want to go out in the woods and feel unprotected, and you want to take something that like you don't want to upset the Sasquatches with. I mean, everybody carries a knife in their pocket. I don't know, around here they do.
I'm just gonna put you in my pocket. Just forget it.
I think it'll be the other way around. I think I need to carry you through the woods.
How beautiful!
We'll get you one of those little backpacks, and I'll put you on my back like one of them babies.
Oh my Lord!
So is he going to end up? Are you going to go back with him? And
yeah,
no weapons.
We don't have anything set up yet, but so I'll go back. I'll go out with you.
Is he okay with leaving his guns and stuff?
He's gonna take a piece with him. I'm telling you.
He didn't comment one way or the other when I told him that at this time. But
yeah, he ain't gonna tell you. He ain't gonna tell you, brother. He's gonna bring one.
Well, I mean, I go out in the woods with mine, and I shoot all the time. But like if I'm shooting, because we get coyotes that run around the block.
Take a knife out, and you carry a pistol. Now what the hell is wrong with you?
That's not what I said. You don't listen. See, you don't listen. You don't understand. You just don't listen. That's what it is. I'm making a point here. Like I'll go out and I'll shoot my gun off, but like I always like.
Oh, now you shoot it off.
God dang, you won't let nobody talk. Can I finish my story?
Lord have mercy. Oh, it's beautiful. Bang bang.
Are you finished?
I feel comfortable now.
No, like I let out a warning call. Like they know when I go out to shoot, it's either coon dogs running on the place, and they know when there's coon dogs out there that I'm coming out and I'm going to like let off a bunch of rounds. Or if my dog is barking in a certain manner when I know something's running the place, because like I said, we've had a couple of our goats. So I know there's big cats out here, and I know we've been having a lot of bear activity, and since the monkeys were on fire.
And we got bears. I'm gonna take a pocket knife.
I don't. In my mind, this is just speaking for myself. I don't think the Bigfoots would let a bear get me. I don't think I would let a bear get me. I'm just gonna put it that way. Nothing wants to eat anything, that has crapped all over itself. So there's that.
You black bear. Right. So on your black bear, is that what you have?
Yeah. Since we had a lot of the fires in the Smokies, the bears have been displaced, so we've been getting a lot more bear activity this way. And but like when I go out there, I can shoot off rounds, and the Bigfoots don't. They don't mind. It doesn't bother them.
Knife, ladies
but
and gentlemen.
they know
she
it's me, and
That's Sonya.
I can carry my gun in the woods, and they still come with me. But I've never been with other people with my gun and them with guns or anything and seen them out. I don't.
But our Barbara, my friend, our friend Lynn Gastier, up in Washington State, he said he's actually been hunting with his rifle and had face-to-face with the Sasquatch. He said because they know me, and they know that I'm not hunting them.
Right.
I've got my rifle on my shoulder, and they expose themselves and show themselves to me because they know me. They know my intentions. I'm just trying to make a point with him. I'm not going to totally allow him to abandon his something like that because there are other things out there too, including in Southeast Missouri, some meth heads.
I
did not want you to say that.
You got to be more worried about than anything. But,
Thank you. See,
bipedal monsters.
The point I'm trying to make with you
breaks, dog man. Yes,
we're going to leave the fears back at home.
Yeah.
And let's not go in thinking we got to arm ourselves to the hilt.
Right. Yeah.
for Sasquatch because we don't for Sasquatch.
You look like a
Grizzly
Rambo trying to go up in the woods. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, bro, take it down a notch.
You know, and
Yeah.
from what I've heard, there's not a, most people say that there's not a gun that would be able to take one down.
Oh
know?
yeah, 44 mag and higher, or 45.
Yeah,
70.
they're
Yeah.
you shoot them flesh and blood. You shoot them in the right spot.
300 Win mag. Yep. Yeah, I know.
I don't know,
I've
but,
already talked to people.
And I'm not.
that
I don't.
dropped them.
I'm not condoning that, but that's just what some people that some of the big ones,
It's not the ones that you drop you have to worry about. It's the other ones that come and running.
Well, you have to think if you use a high-powered gun, your chances are you're going to shoot a hole through it, not in it. And when you do that, it's going to keep on coming because at that point you didn't do nothing but cauterize the wound as it went in and opened it right out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's going to keep it coming. You're going to think that elephant gun is going to feel real stupid.
And then, like you said, what you're shooting, what's going to come out at you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
because if you think he's running at you, you got one running up behind you.
Yes, that is correct.
But where I said where there's one, there's more.
That is correct.
Yeah. Yep.
And the females you talk about like Sonia saw the female the other night during the hailstorm. Where there's a female, I've always been told that they're probably flanked by at least two to three juvenile males to protect. Their job is to protect them when they're out and about. So,
well, this female, she sits by herself. Well, during the day, she's out there by herself most of the time, but she watches the family, and that's when they mostly travel and stuff. But yeah, there's the alpha male, and he's always lingering about somewhere. Like you see him all times of day and night. He always seems to be out there. And then there's a bunch of more of them, but those are the ones that primary are. And there's an older female, and she comes in the evening time and will sit out there. And I've had a lot of interaction with her because she's the one that I get the most feelings from, I guess you could say.
Yeah, how tall, Sonia, would you say your alpha male is?
Oh, he's like 8 foot at least. I mean, yeah. And I think his footprint is the biggest one I've ever found. And it's like 18, 19 inches or so. So
yeah, could be 18, 19, could be 9 foot even. So
yeah, and I'm really horrible with. I thought the tallest. I played this game one time, and it was like one of them guessing games, and you had to like bet on your guess. And the question was, how tall is the tallest giraffe? And I was like 50 foot for sure, right? Yeah, no, that's like 5 stories. I'm dumb. It was like 22 feet. I'll never forget that because they all made fun of me so hard. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to get better with that.
Yeah. And I say that I know the big alpha is over here about 12 foot.
Yeah, and they're a bit smaller. Like like the one I've seen some in North Carolina. The one I saw in North Carolina, he was at least a foot taller than the male that's out here.
Wow.
And like I don't know. I feel like mine are like smaller than normal. Like not maybe like smaller, but like I guess smaller in stature than the ones in Washington and stuff. But you guys have bigger trees and stuff than we do.
Yeah.
So Sean, the female menstrual cycles are like humans. That I don't know. I know that the gorillas have similar cycles, and they do bleed on themselves because we do have reports of blood on them.
Well, I can put it this way. There's a few years back I had the younger Sasquatches. They're all about the same age, like the 3 of them. And obviously they probably came from different mothers. So the 3 of them had to be born at the same time because they're all about the same age,
Have you ever seen blood on them?
You would think when my dogs come into heat, they all come into heat. I was at a camping trip a couple months ago. When my friends started, we're all in the same cycle now. I usually run with the full moon, not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. I would
But
think
have you ever seen them covered in blood or anything before, Sonia?
Well, I'm sure they're free bleeders, but I'm not sure how their menstrual cycles work. But I mean,
Well, I didn't know if you've seen a bloody Bigfoot or not. That's my
I've never been
question.
like face to crotch with one of them either. I remember I was the one who asked about if it has anybody ever seen a penis on a Sasquatch. I was
You didn't have to repeat that, but yes, I remember. Poor Mike.
I mean,
That poor guy.
I was
His
generally
jaw was
curious.
on top of my
Had
truck.
anybody mentioned that? And I was
Yes, they
really
have.
curious.
Yeah,
but
that's an interesting question. Yeah.
So,
I think that they're more like that, seasons maybe that they, because what is it? How many times a year does like a dog go into heat? Let's just say.
maybe
I'm
once or twice.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's a male dog around all the time, that brings them into heat. Naturally, they like a younger female dog will come in like once
Yeah.
to 3 times, I'd say.
I mean, with their human DNA, you would think that it would be, but it doesn't seem like it would be very conducive to hiding yourself if you're, could get pregnant that easily. Like,
Continually growing the
You
population.
are not gonna believe what I just Googled.
What?
Oh,
Wow.
you shouldn't. Don't do that.
Yes, I fact checked this. Hold up, I'm putting it out here for everybody.
Okay.
So this is for the audio listeners. So the females are in heat 1 or 2 days a month. Before they start having sex partners, they must be separated from their born troop and start searching for a silverback male from another group. That's a
You talking about?
gorilla.
Oh, you talking about? I thought you were about Sasquatch.
Well, I'm trying to get as close as I can. I mean, you know what I'm saying, Mike? So,
should I leave some pads in the woods?
Hi, Sean. Yeah, you and a lot of men out there.
I was not going to read that. Oh, my Lord, ladies. We're going into the ditch already.
Yeah.
How beautiful. Into the ditch. Oh, but I did not know that they would 1-2 days a month. That was very surprising.
But that's a good point, though. The other thing is, because like, all right, if you are a, if they hang with, let's say, with families, in order to have a breeding population that you wouldn't have genetic issues, it's like, it doesn't seem like it would be very conducive to.
No, and that's why Jeff Muldrum's got the deformed footprints, if you remember, of the disfigured toes, and because he thinks that they're inbreeding. Well, some of them that don't go outside the pool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. Well, it depends on how they mate too, because like there's certain breeds like you can't do mother or like it's like each species has a different lineage of what you can breed. Like goats, you can't breed a goat dad to its daughters, but you can do nieces and uncles.
What?
Yeah,
really? I didn't know that. That's good, but...
Right, there's certain
Mike, we're not getting into inbreeding with Kentucky hillbillies and Tennessee things. Now, no.
This is for goats, and this is for farmers who breed in. This is like because you can't. Most of the time, they get rid of their billies and they just bring on new females, or whatever, or they bring in a new billy and they get it, for the bloodline or whatever. But you can breed. There's certain ways, and like dogs, the dogs have a different one. You can breed dogs on. Not mothers and mothers and sons, but you can breed like you can't do brothers and sisters, but you can do like I don't know. I don't remember how it goes exactly. Yeah. Don't quote.
And how did you learn all this?
Because we have goats. We breed goats. So you have to make sure that when you're breeding goats and stuff, that you don't accidentally
Ladies and gentlemen, she does have a set of goats. That is correct. I apologize.
Yeah.
I was starting to get worried there for a moment. I'm like, what
I mean, a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm like, wow.
I have a couple sources, Grizzly.
Oh no!
Tom Cantrell is one, and Kenny Busby is the other. That they say that the females, when the female gets of age, that they will send her off to another clan to find a mate. Send her off, I don't know if it's the next county or the next, how far they have to go for that, but they will send them outside of that clan to find a mate. And then, she may bring the man back, or he may take her with her, depending on what the situation is. But and Kenny, he showed me a picture of one of his females down in Arkansas on his property. He said that she just showed up like 3 years ago or 4 years ago as the mate of, whatever he had the other one named, and don't know where she came from. They went and got her, I guess, but but they will do that to prevent the inbreeding.
Yeah.
And all the tracks that I see in Southeast Missouri, we see just a consistent pattern of 5 toes, just like on a human, without a whole lot of separation, or we don't see the 3 or the 4 toed like you'll hear people talk about, or things like that. So other places, who knows?
You found those
we
like
are
3 and 4
making
toes.
some really some news, because we just got shared to the Riff Nation Network. So we just got shared y'all out. So we just got shared. Thanks. Thanks, Sonia, about weenuses and goats and brothers and sisters and poor crazy witches laughing. Thanks, Mr. Odell. I appreciate that. So yeah.
Yeah,
Is that Possum Hollow, Kentucky, the Riff Nation Network?
Yes, that is yes.
Tom is probably Brian Bland that you had spoken,
Right.
you the interview with.
But Tom was on the show with us too.
Yeah. Yes. But he has the kind of theory that and as well as a lot of others in this, that they will go and have like almost like groups of them will migrate, clans will migrate to certain parts of the country for a big meetup, maybe at certain times of the year.
Bigfoot Sasquatch reunion.
Yeah.
I think and my family goes away for a couple months during the winter, and it makes me wonder, and I've wondered this a couple times. Because they always come back in the spring or summertime with a new baby,
and then they come back and they have their mates, and they have the babies, and so that
sometimes some of them don't follow them back, some of them don't come back, and
yeah.
Well, that makes sense then. So that supports that theory then, Sonia.
Yeah,
so.
And that's what he had found, and a lot of people from this area had kind of found that.
See, I don't think about stuff like that. Like, look, when we're sitting down thinking about it, unless we're discussing it like that, you don't put all the twos and twos together,
Yeah.
Yeah, bye, lady. Bye, kids. No empty nest here.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I want.
Well, I mean,
Grizzly, think of all the things we're learning tonight.
Yeah, I know.
What is happening? What's Grizzly doing? What is he doing?
I'm reaching for something. Hold up.
Put your arms down, Grizz.
I know, right? I was trying to reach for a book, but I can't find it.
Don't hurt yourself.
I know. Oh my Lord.
Got winded? You all right?
No, the only thing I found was the Bible. And I was trying to find another book, but
don't try to clean us up now. It's a little late for that.
Right. They got a lot about reading in the Bible too, if you read it.
Yes, they do.
I mean, there's more inbreeding there than there probably is in the woods.
Poor Nicole. Crazy witch. But
and 2023 Virginia Bigfoot Convention.
June 17th.
All right.
Cave. It's in a cave. That'd be cool.
That is cool. Wow. I'm going to the 2023 Forks Sasquatch Days in Forks, Washington on Friday for this. Yeah. I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
I'm gonna search them out and try to go to the next one that Melvin and Polites are at. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know if they're going to be together.
Nobody has never told us what happened.
Yeah,
Mom was the word
that's
on
right. I've been waiting on that information for 3 weeks now.
Wait, I thought we talked. Didn't we talk about that?
Oh yeah, we did last week.
We
Yeah.
talked. Was it last
we
week or 2
did.
weeks ago?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of like
It was
nothing
hit and
burger.
miss. Yeah, never mind. I remember now.
Yeah.
Uneventful, but
More
eventful.
hyped up than
Yeah.
Probably you had to be there. So
Yeah, actually, we watched the video of
yeah,
the screaming. I remember now.
yeah. The greatest one was Ron Moorhead sitting between them and saying, "I don't think I should be sitting between these two guys." That was
The look on somebody's face that says it all sometimes too. Just for that moment, you're just
Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere but here right now.
There's a on Sunday. Now I hope that I get to stay for this. On Sunday, there's going to be a debate between Thomas Seawood and Rich Germano. I hope I'm saying his name right. Thomas is a flesh and blood, and Rich is woo, and they're going to debate each other.
Where is this at, Barb?
Forks, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be. I hope that I can stay for that.
Oh, there goes Charles. Remember talking about the flashy ball? I got hit in the head with the doll before the show on the last show, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
yes, it came off the top of the studio. I thought, Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'll have to send you a video, Grizzly. My neighbor, it's really cool. Her mother died a couple months ago. That's not really cool. The next part is, but she's been experiencing orbs at her house, and she caught one on video that is pretty awesome. I'll have to send that to you. And it's just.
Does it look like a bird?
No, it's at nighttime, and it definitely looks like an orb. Yeah.
But no, I was trying to find a book, and it was about the lady. I can't remember her name. She was out in the woods, and she used an older camera, and she caught. And it says I was reading online about courtships with apes and gorillas, and they said that they live in populations of the clans up to 30 in a clan. So I did not know that, because we were estimating 15 to 20 to 22.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to know. And they go as fertile as up to 6 years of age on the gorillas, which I did not know either. So that's very interesting. So,
yeah.
Yes.
Robin Haynes. Wait, is it Robin Haynes McCrae? Do you all know who? I'm sure. Anyway, oh my gosh, she's just amazing. She's very much in tune. She grew up with clans on her property, but she's also just very in tune with them. And she can, I guess, would it be like a medium? She can mind speak with them and can read the energy in almost like a remote area. And I had asked her about, did I have any clans? And she said, yes, that there was 2. One was on my property, and there was 19 in that clan. And then there was one very close. And there was 26 in that. And so that's cool. That kind of goes along with what you're saying, Grizzly, with what, So yeah, I thought that was, that's pretty cool.
19, Barb. Now you know how much. Now you know how many hamburgers and hot dogs to get it for the next cooking.
She said there were 2 old and very powerful females that kind of ran the 2 clans, and one was over 100 years old.
Wow.
See, now that was another question we had.
Like what?
We've had that question before.
Yeah.
Now, here is something that I'm going to post.
Female too, because an older female. That's who runs the clan here, and that's who runs the clan. Like, I know I have the alpha male Bigfoot, but the older female, she runs it, and she's the one that I said, and it's like she said, you can talk with her. She's the one that come to me first and let me be a part of it. She welcomed me in, at one point when they surrounded me and all let me they let me in. I don't know how else to explain
It's
that.
it's like every happily married household, the woman runs the show, right, Barbara?
Yeah.
So it says here, it says mating and breeding occurs throughout the year. The dominant silverback mates with all females in the group as soon as they begin ovulation. The moment when a female gorilla is ready to mate, it's not evident physically like it is in chimpanzees. In most cases, it's the female who initiates the mating process as soon as she is ready. As a female gorilla is ready to mate, she will approach the dominant male slowly and sustain eye contact and pursue her lips. Never mind, ladies and gentlemen. We're stopping there. Yes, never mind.
But you know what though? But
yes,
like I don't,
Mr. Odell Daniel Benet, I think the world of him.
I don't think that I don't know. Like, I don't think that you could compare that situation
you really can't.
to what we can hear because they supposedly.
Well, I didn't know I was going to say that.
No, but I mean, it's a good theory. It's but
I mean, it's just to give some kind of a reference point, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Poor crazy witch. I know. I don't even know why I cry.
Because don't they? I mean, they don't have. They have family. Family structure. They have.
Yes.
Mothers and fathers that stay in the same. That stay.
Everything I hear, they're monogamous. They'll one male, one female, and that's it.
I believe that, and like I said, and if the big females run the stuff, I would say they get to choose who gets to, who goes and who stays.
Hey.
I mean, it's a theory. You never know, but I feel that way. Like she makes all the decisions. She's the one, when the juveniles were out here creating havoc or they just having fun, she was the one that yelled at them and made them get back home. And I mean, she's the one that always, she makes the decisions. So like female Sasquatch empowerment over here. I'm down for it. I'm here for it all day long.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking checking anything else anymore tonight. That's
You said fact checking, right? Because that is not what it sounded like you said. But okay.
What did I just say?
I heard it. No, it's okay. Nothing.
Another word, but I don't think it was.
I wanted to repeat it just to make sure.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, 11920. Oh, don't tell me I said something wrong.
You didn't. No.
Oh.
Fact checking.
Okay.
Put up Sean's comment.
No. What did Sean say? I hate to even see it.
Girls used to approach me like that too, except they had a red cane with a white tip.
Hey, what?
He's on a roll.
My Lord, Sean. I tell you, the poor audio listeners tomorrow, they're going to put their car in a ditch on the way to work.
He's really trying to take us into the ditch.
So, yes, poor Nicole. I feel sorry for everybody. Poor Ed's laughing. Nicole's laughing. Crazy witch. And now we got JD down there just having a ball. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not how we usually do our shows.
Sean's missing his calling tonight.
Yes, and was it Sean or Crazy Witch always comes in? What happened? What did I miss? Every time I come in, everybody's laughing.
I think that's
poor guy. Was that Sean? Yeah. So they were swing. Nah, never mind. Okay, Ed, we got you.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
all right, Sonia.
Let's get back on the right track.
Yes, Thomas. Thank you. Right. My Lord.
So
we're just trying to educate people here.
What I find it interesting. What makes people believe? What is the thing that, if you don't know for sure and you haven't seen Bigfoot, Sasquatch, what would make you believe? Like, okay, yep, that's definitely one here. What would that take for you guys to?
I'm a mommy of 13 and 14-year-old boys, so I relate to my mama.
Yeah.
All right, Nicole, we're right with you. You know, the problem though is that I think no matter what you present to people, unless they actually have their own encounter, I don't think you're going to persuade them. You know, just like whoever's going to debate the flood and blood or the flesh and blood and compared to the interdimensional. Now, my opinion, and people can agree or disagree. I think they're both. I know they could be killed. I know they bleed. I know that for a fact. And we go back to my other shows.
Flesh and blood does not mean that you can't be one or the other either. So.
Well, there are people out there, though, Sonia, that either you believe it's this way or you are crazy and you're not in my group. I mean, that's just the way they are. So, yes.
I know.
And, you know, and like Ron Moorhead and I talked before he came an admin to a couple of my groups or our groups is that, you know, and I brought this up on, I don't know if it was our show or other shows, you know, 20, 30 years ago, he would laugh about even, even thinking about this concept. But now it's like, everything's off the table. I mean, you got the video that cloaks. Now, if I didn't know that was Barb's video, I would have been like, "Now that's a hoax, ladies and gentlemen." I would not even validate. I wouldn't even show it. You know, but it's just stuff like that. It makes you stop and think. And then you got stuff that, you know, my buddy posts on Facebook. Now he's being followed by the government because of some of the stuff that he's been saying. But I mean, he did and this guy's very credible, ex-law enforcement. And he's warning his friends on Facebook, beware. And I'm thinking, oh, great, you know. So, I mean, you come down my street, you're coming down my street for one reason, and they ain't paying me a visit. So, it's a dead end street, ladies and gentlemen. So, and yes, Mr. Guestmon will absolutely talk sometime because I used to live in Indiana. But, you know, it's just, you know, it's hard because people don't live in reality. And when I say reality, is that what they see on TV is their reality and that's it. And until you go out and like where you live, Barb, and where Mike lives and where Sonia lives, and like, you know, Sonia, and since her and I met, she really never thought about stuff until she started, you know, intermingling with the community and seeing other stuff.
And it's because people 20 years ago, when you would tell people, other people that were into cryptids and all this other stuff, it was just everybody was so hard on each other. Like, oh, that's, you know, that ain't even, you know, that's not right. And they would make you feel like some kind of way. So,
and they still do on certain things.
But so for 20 years, besides, you know, just, I mean, I tell people my story here and there, but besides that, I kept quiet about it. Like,
you know, street glyphs and stuff. You really didn't know what that was until recently.
And information. I just didn't know. I knew what they were. I just didn't know what people called them.
Well, I didn't mean it that way, but that's what I'm referring to. Right. Yeah. And this is where we're talking about education.
I didn't know if they were. I actually, that's something that if you would have told me, probably a year ago, even just a year ago, I'd be like, I don't know about that. Like, but when you see that on your own, you know, in our case, under our house, on the property several times, I mean, what you can't, and I'm finding them. So I'm the one with the most like knowledge. So nobody's doing like, there's no hoaxing, you know, going on.
Right.
So, it's you know, it's funny. I think I've told you guys about it seems like the ones in the clan here like to make it almost looks like a tic-tac-toe bracket. And I found that under the big X that they made. I found similar under the house. That was like the first thing that they made, you know, up until they made it into a house. Now there's an area in my backyard that I'm pretty sure that they're sitting there at night. I have a lot of videos but there was one area that was, and it was like, you can see the ground, all the like vegetation is worn away. And I'm like, I bet you they're sitting behind that tree. Perfect place to sit. But I really wish I would know. I don't know. The other day walking by, isn't there that tic-tac-toe glyph is right in that spot? And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's my answer. But if somebody would, if somebody would have told me that a year ago, I'd be like, I don't know about that. That seems that's a little weird. But I'm here to tell you, that's what they do. Mm-hmm. And that's just really, and it's cool that I can't believe, wow.
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's been really great to meet other people who like where I can tell a story and not have to go, okay, I know this sounds crazy. Yeah. And I have to get out of the habit of saying that even now to people that, but it does sound crazy sometimes when you say some of the stuff that happened, like what happened to us when we got, hit with the
infrasound.
Infrasound. Yeah. I don't know why I have such trouble with words. But
just use your East Tennessee mountain lingo, Sonia. Rest of us will figure it out.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say got blasted by Sasquatch, but that didn't sound right either. So are you sure you want me to continue? Educate me, Mike.
You all know Todd and Brian from Cryptid Creatures had interviewed me yesterday about what's going on my property, and whenever I'm telling people, it's like I'm just kind of like cringing, like, oh my God, what if they think this is so stupid? I mean, they know my story, they see my evidence on my page, but I'm just thinking like, oh my gosh, look at their faces, and I'm as I'm talking, but then they're like, wow, and I'm like, oh, that I just feel so validated. And then they said, well, what does your husband think about this? And Mike kind of knows this story. Yeah. And I said, well, he's still, he definitely believes it, that they're, believes it's possible, but he's much more skeptical of like glyphs. He's like, I don't know, but so there's two pieces of evidence that have happened in the last like 2 weeks that Randall Hartman is like, oh, I can't believe that this has happened. One is you
even used him as a prop, didn't you?
Well, one is this stupid old hot tub cover that he had kind of like laid it on top of this wood, like new wood, to keep it dry. Well, something had folded it in half and pushed it over, and it is really heavy. It's like 40 years old. He just thought that was, oh my gosh, that's the most amazing thing. Like nothing else.
That's the evidence he needed.
That's it. And then the other thing, I'm like, okay, whatever. The other thing was that there was a big tree branch. Well, when I say branch, I mean maybe a piece of a tree. And it was from a fir tree, probably about 8 feet long and really thick. And that was down in the middle of our yard. Now we have cedar and we do have fir trees, but the fir trees, there's no way that it blew down there. If it would have blown, it would have caused a lot because it's very heavy. It took 2 of them to kind of get it out, get it out of there. So we didn't have any windstorms. And like I said, and even if we did, and let's just say broke off, it was way too heavy to have blown there. So he's like, I don't know. I can't explain this. And he's so excited about the tree and the hot tub cover.
Well, that's good that they figured out something. They're like, all right, we gotta find a way to convince Barb's husband. What do we do? Yeah. He's like, let's throw a stick down. Yeah.
Yeah. What's kind of cute too? This is kind of adorable, is that I said to him, I said, now what have you and Noah, which is my daughter's fiance, I said, what have you guys have been doing like the last week? They've been trimming things up and like cleaning things up. And I said, what if they're like, oh, here, we're going to try to help out. Like, I thought that was adorable.
Or they're making him do more work. They're like, let's watch him pick up these sticks from the yard.
Yeah. You seem to like this. Here you go.
Wouldn't it be funny if we had no idea that they've been studying us this whole time?
Yeah.
And we thought that we've been watching them, and this whole time they've been like, all right, let's write this down. Yeah. We'll pick up sticks out of yard.
Yeah.
Gets overly excited.
And that goes back to JD about cell phones and cameras. And the only problem with that is with all this AI technology that we have out and chat and everything else, unless you actually know the person that allegedly took the video or the footage, right now at this point, it's pretty much out the window.
Yeah, you really have to with that. But going back to what we were just saying, I've talked to people that, like Sonia, have them inhabit their property, and they observe the humans enough that they will use their tools.
Hello, Daniel.
Hi,
The
Daniel.
human would be
Long
like,
time no see, brother.
all of a sudden, the axe is missing. They came, got the axe out of the barn, and then he finds the axe up in the woods where some trees have been cut.
Wow. Yeah.
And 20-inch footprints leading the way. Where sometimes they'll take the axe and borrow it for a day or two, and they'll bring it back.
Well, they're probably up there like pretending to use it. Like, look at me, I'm a human.
or they're actually using it. You don't know. And so. But I have had people say that they will use their tools, and I guess they do enough observation. They can figure that out. As intelligent as they are.
Designs.
So,
and we still get the reports from the Appalachian trails and the mountains and people out in the country that their clothes are still being stolen off the clotheslines, right?
Good night, Crazy Witch.
So, good night, Crazy Witch.
And,
Daniel says, I'm prepping to camp this weekend and do some Bigfooting with your group. That's awesome, Daniel. I'm glad to hear that. But, and we got a guy, Val, that actually has reports that they have witnessed Sasquatch wearing clothes. Now they don't fit them. Now, don't get me wrong; they're not like skinny jeans and all. I mean, but they're trying to mimic people. So it's like
making fun of them, like you know what I mean. I feel like they have a sense of humor. I really do believe that. 100%.
Look how stupid these humans look wearing these things.
Look at me, I'm a human.
Because if you would have told me 20 years ago that these creatures were intelligent, I would have laughed at you. I would have. I would have thought just like everybody else, they're ignorant apes. But when they can walk up and confiscate tape recorders and turn them off, and they can gorilla tape. I know it sounds funny saying gorilla tape, but duct tape whatever to a street sign next to the woods, and they throw rocks at it for hours trying to knock it off.
Yeah,
I mean, what else?
They're practicing.
Right.
Anything that is on or is powered has a noise, has a frequency. Anything
That's true.
And that frequency, being a vibrational creature, can hear that, can see it, can sense it, can feel it.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. So that's no big deal. And you never know. It might be a frequency that they dislike, or that's how they know that the cameras are there. That's how,
Yeah. Well, I think that there's a lot of, and you're probably the same way, Sonia. There's a lot of electronics that I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that noise? What's that buzzing noise? Or what's that noise? I cannot handle this noise. And my husband's like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no noise. And I'm like, no, I cannot handle that noise.
Yeah, and I'm one of the. It's like the sound only dogs can hear, but it's stronger than that. Yeah, and it's weird too because and there's only certain people that hear it. That'll be a certain frequency. I can be in a big group of people, and me and maybe one other person will hear it, and nobody else. So that means that's a frequency that's not. It's not just your body, creating a thing. That means that's something,
Right.
She does not like my spirit box.
No,
it drives her nuts. No, she does not like it.
Mm.
What is it? Is it that static?
That it's.
Yeah.
It's a constant, but it's got a frequency in it that I can't even talk about it. It makes me upset.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know. It's annoying. But he did have his spirit box out the other night, and he was watching the dolls, and it was going crazy. As soon as he left the room, it was fine. It was just making that steady noise when he left. But as soon as he left, he's like, "Are they doing anything?" I was like, yeah. His cat balls started going off, and then the dolls kept going, humans. That's the word it kept repeating over and over and over again. But it didn't say a word until he left the room. Because I was
Wow.
watching it live on TikTok, and he was like in the kitchen making sweet tea or whatever he was doing. And yeah, he was like, "Is it doing anything?" I was like, "Yeah." Besides getting on my nerves, I said, "I can't watch it for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna watch it for a minute." And I had to turn it
Yeah.
off because I couldn't take the noise.
So did you say the doll kept saying human?
Well, like he has the spirit box will pick up frequencies for words. And then you can, so it kept going human and human.
Oh, so the spirit box was saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would it? So what? Yeah. Why? What?
It was, and he was like, as soon as he left, it started doing that. Like,
Wow.
As soon as he left the room.
Showing off for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I had it live on TikTok, and I forgot my TikTok account was private and not public. So I didn't find that out till hours later because I kept telling, I was like, how many people's watching? I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
I was like, I don't know. I couldn't stand to watch it any longer to find out how many people was watching. I said, -1.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting. It really is. Mm-hmm. So, and people, I've heard people use cat balls to gift to Bigfoot. And I think, Sonia, wasn't you one of them that used to do it or did it or don't?
It was not just the cat ball. It was one of those little rubber silicone toys that has the cat ball inside of it. And it was a little monkey. Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So, yeah. So in my mind, one of them's running around with one of those little rubber squeeze toys,
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder if they got upset, if it died. At this point, it's had to have died. And did they get mad when it died? Like, did he just chuck it into the woods?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, when we left one in our gifting bucket, when the cat ball died, they returned it to the gifting bucket.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
Like get me another one.
That's cool.
So
wow.
I should go check. Well, I will go check because I've got several different gifting spots, but like I'll go check where I'll have to go check that out.
Yeah, check out it because I'm gonna try to bring another one up.
What are some suggestions? Because I was having this conversation with somebody. What are some suggestions like non-food items that you would make to people for gifting?
Well, those cat balls are a hit.
Cat balls?
Anything that will light up on touch and that you get a little football that's got a little lighting system in a little Nerf football type thing, and they'll throw that around.
Yeah.
So but those are wonderful toys, especially for the kids.
I left some jingle bells.
I could see me at Sonia's house. Look how beautiful those lights are. I'm running like hell. Watch out. I'm going.
Well, I thought, in my mind too, I thought if they had the cat balls and they were playing with them too, it'd be a cool thing to see where they, just to see where they were, you know what I mean? Which they make themselves known pretty much now. Like they let me know when they're there, but like, jingle bells is something that's cool. Bells, little bells. Yeah. And mirrors, one of those like little plastic mirrors or like, like a kid's keychain mirror or something like that. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be so breakable, but it's got like a protecting coating or something around it.
Yeah.
I was trying to think.
Oh,
cool. A couple other things. One of those it was a big hit until they stole the one out of my yard. Those little pinwheels that you blow.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I had a couple of them, and then I had a couple in my yard that were just for my yard, and they got gone.
Do you think that the Sasquatch or some?
I mean, it was like right after I left, because I left them one too. So I took them one, and I had them one, and they took it, of course. But after that, the ones I had in my yard, they were a little bit different, and they were a little bit bigger. They're gone, and and my dogs do run out and chew up stuff sometimes, so I have to be, diligent in what, is Sasquatch and what might have been the dog, but I never found it chewed up. They would have chewed it up and left it in the yard in pieces, so I never found it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't find any signs of them taking it, but they're not there no more, and it was kind of. Yeah. So yeah, my mom blames me for that. She's like, "Yeah, thank you."
Well, I told Sonia what I'm going to do when I come over. I'm going to put a bunch of rat traps underneath her windows.
No. You also said that. Oh, okay, listen to this. See, I told him today I'm a dream walker, but I'm also a sleepwalker. And he was like, "Oh, great! Now I got to put rat traps all over the house." What? What?
You are not going to be invited over. Invitation rescinded.
You put rat traps down, so I don't want wander outside.
Hell filming that, putting that live on YouTube.
I'd like to. I'd like to see you get over there and have somebody video it and go out there and come face to face with one of those.
Oh hell, no, I ain't going face to face
9 foot
with
tall.
That.
No, we'll see how beautiful it is then.
Yeah. Chris said, and we were talking about something about, if the Sasquatches came to my bathroom window, he said I'd put rat traps under the window, and I was like, why?
Why did you do that?
He said to keep the Sasquatches away, and I was like, yeah, because that's what you want to do. Is like just immediately trap one of its toes and smash one of its feet, and while you're trying to pee or whatever on the toilet, you want to be in that position.
Yeah,
like it knows that I can't get up and run once I start going. It knows that. It's watching. It's watching.
I did a show with a woman over in outside of Springfield, Missouri, that she said he knocks every night between 2 and 3 in the morning. He knocks on her bedroom window every night.
Oh,
he
that would
knock
freak
on
me
her
out.
bedroom window.
Yeah.
I said,
piss me off. I'm sorry.
he's persistent. He's persistent. Are you ever going to answer? She says, no. I said, well, I said, he's persistent. I'll give him credit for that.
But like maybe if she just answers him, he will leave her alone.
He might.
Has she ever said don't do that? Like, don't. I want.
She won't answer.
Like
you ever said like stop it?
Yeah, she probably doesn't say a word.
Yeah, see, I feel like when I have problems, or when I did have problems with them, like when I was younger, we used to have cats go missing. So when I was like 15, I went out and had a conversation in the middle of the woods. Nobody was there, not really, but and sat there and I had this huge conversation, and we haven't had a cat like that go missing since.
But Sonia, I've heard other people say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the property situation, that finally they get out there and they put their foot down. Look, you're welcome to be here, interact with us, do this, do that, but you can't take any more cats, so you can't do such and such. You can't throw any more rocks at the house. And they say it'll quit. They'll quit.
Like, and it's funny too, because like I didn't have a problem, and that was the only thing I had a problem with was don't mess with my dogs and my cats. Like that's the only thing. And now like the dogs that we have that are outside now, because when they first started to appear, that first time that they really came around is when my sister called them in and was making the noises, and they came in that summer. I had 3 of the meanest dogs. Well, I'll say I had 2 of the meanest dogs I've ever had in my life. We'd had them for years. You know what I mean? She would whoop every dog up and down the valley, and they wouldn't even go off the porch after the thing, and they never would the whole time it was there. And they were a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They were a little bit closer to home at night, back then. But after we had that speech and things went on, and things are different. The dogs that I have out here now, which it's weird because dogs in the last few years their personalities are changing. I don't know. They seem more aware too, not just us. I feel like the dogs and cats and things are more aware too. So, but they have a relationship. Because we have outside dogs, because we have the goats and the chickens and whatnot. And our Great Pyrenees, she has like a bond with them. She knows when they're out there. She can she sniffs the air, and she sniffs the air weird when they're out there. I don't know how to explain it. She just makes this weird noise when she sniffs the air when they're out there. And she can hear the noises in the woods and everything, and just go straight into the woods, not barking. When it's something that she doesn't know, and when she sniffs the air, it's a different sound. And she always goes in the woods just barking,
So she knows the bark at the coyote or the mountain lion, but not the bark at the Sasquatch, and that's why she's still alive. That's why she sits
up there with them, and it's funny too, because there'll be nights, and it doesn't happen often, and it only happens I'd say about like springtime and sometime in the fall. She'll want in the house. There'll be like a week come through that she never wants in the house. Sometimes during the day she'll want in the house when it's hot or whatever, and I let her in. But at nighttime, when she wants in the house, it freaks me out because she doesn't want in the house that often. And I know it's not the Bigfoot, but there's something out there that means that she wants her, that it's not them. And I know that, and she knows that, and she wants in the house.
There could be something a little more, devastating, or a little more. I mean, your Wampus cat or something like that. It could be something.
The Wampus cat, I know, has a relationship with my one dog. She was petting my dog, so that doesn't.
Yeah, but something. Right.
I think it might just be like a Black Panther or a cougar or something like that. Something like that. Because I mean, she's not got all the greatest help out there. It was her, and we had another dog that went missing, and the neighbors found them. But she said something ran them off from her house. The two dogs that I had go missing, I told you about a few weeks ago, they found them. But my neighbor across the ridge said something scared them off from her property. I was like, probably her, but whatever. But we still haven't found them. So they're still out there somewhere, but yeah. But so it was just them two really at night running the woods together, So and she, like I said, when she's got a different bark when there's something out there too. It's just I spend a lot of time up at night listening to things and sitting outside. Yeah. Grizzly's always like, I'm always like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go outside and go take my Bigfoot stuff. And he's like, no, you're not. Yeah, I am. He's like, you're not gonna go out there right now. It's like midnight. I'm like, yeah. So I'll go out there like at any time, and in the night, and just go out there and find a tree and sit down. Like, not take a gun, not take a flashlight, just go out and sit in the middle of the woods. Why not?
Yeah. Well,
it's only I've only been scared that one time.
Not that.
That's beautiful.
As I'm being dragged to the woods, like, oh, this is fantastic.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's another edition. We're wrapping it up. So it's been great.
Hey, we didn't go in the ditch.
Yeah, we did not go in the ditch tonight. Almost several times.
He said we didn't end it in the ditch.
Yeah, that's true. Made me blush.
Give us our credit.
Yes. So next week it's going to be interesting, I guess. So don't tell him what we're going to find out between Mike and Sonia since Mike's back. So, yeah. Interesting.
Mike's name's Clara Joe now, so.
Yeah, Clara Joe. Yeah. That'll be. Hey,
what's Clara Joe going to have for us?
I'll have myself reinvented by next week.
You go, girl.
Mike Scott. You could just do like understanding Bigfoot. That could be your, I don't know, your page or
good.
Yeah.
My wife would probably kill me if I did, or she wouldn't accept my friend request if I did.
All right, love you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you guys.
We'll have a good one. Take care. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Good night.
It's a grizzly.
Should we get out of here?
No. We're gonna watch and listen. It's a grizzly.
Oh, shit, should we run?
No.
Action.
It's a grizzly.
Oh, should we run?
Okay. It's a grizzly.
Are you sure it's not a chipmunk? Action. No, I'm out of here. Action.
It's a grizzly.
I'm out of here.
Huh. Maybe it is a chipmunk. It's a grizzly.
Are we gonna die?
I don't know. We're just going to sit here and listen and watch.
Let's get out of here, maybe.
Fall!